Welcome to the Spanish Fork Salem Area Chamber of Commerce 2018 Installation and Award Banquet. My name is Todd Dickerson. I have served as the 2017 president for the Chamber of Commerce, so this is in a way my last official duty as president. And I just want to thank all of you for coming out this evening. We do have a few acknowledgments we need to make before we get started. So first off, we'd like to thank Naples School District for hosting this event in their recently acquired Advanced Learning Center. This is a beautiful building. It's nice to be able to use this, as well as it's nice to be able to do this banquet here in Salem for a change. So moving on, we want to welcome the state championship Spanish Fork High School band. They will be providing a few numbers for us this evening, mostly through the first part and while we are working our way back to get the food. Chris, thank you so much for bringing your talented students out here tonight, allowing us to have this great experience with them.
Our Father in heaven, we're thankful this evening for the opportunity that we have to meet in this lovely building as neighbors, friends, and business owners of Salem and Spanish Fork, the wonderful communities in which we are so blessed to live in. We're grateful this evening for the opportunities we have to present and awards for those that have been so wonderfully serving in different capacities in both communities, and we're so thankful for them and the blessings that they are in our lives. We pray a blessing upon the food that we're so grateful for and thankful for the hands that have prepared it. We ask a blessing upon all of our first responders, the women and men who keep us safe every night, not only in our communities but around the world. And these things we humbly pray and do so in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Will the audience please rise? Color Guard advance. Will the audience please place your right hand over your heart? Color Guard, post the colors. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color Guard, retreat. Color Guard dismissed. Will the audience please be seated?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Clint Roberts, and we're going to play a few tunes. That's all I'm going to say. They're great tunes. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. Have a great night. Enjoy your meal. We're happy to be here. Thanks for having us. going to feature one of our trombone players. This is Lucas Del Greco on the trombone, and he was actually accepted into the All-State Jazz Band that's going to be performing in St. George next weekend, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And he's sitting in the lead trombone spot down there, which is pretty amazing. So you got to give him a hand for this one. So now the pressure's on. This is Parfait by Steve Spiegel. Great tune.
District is a member of our Chamber of Commerce, and they are an integral part of our community. They are consistently working to ensure that not only their students are successful, but our community is as well. NEBO employs approximately 4,000 employees, and it is the 6th largest district in the state, as well as the 5th largest employer in Utah County. NEBO School District represents 33,000 students and 42 schools. 18 of those schools are in the Spanish Fork Salem communities. NEBO School District works to engage, empower, and collaborate to ensure student success. They engage students as active participants in school and in the community. They empower students to acquire and develop knowledge, skills, and talents. They collaborate to promote safety, student involvement, and achievement. They prepare students to succeed in school and in life. NEBO School District is known for being on the cutting edge of technology and continues to emphasize technology with over 19,000 devices. That includes computers, wireless Chromebooks, and iPads. Every NEBO student can be prepared to succeed in college and workforce training. Some courses taught in NEBO to help students become college and career ready include aviation, computer programming and repair, digital media, audio engineering, video production, medical science, criminal justice, building construction, engineering, robotics, manufacturing, and teacher education. Other courses include business agriculture, marketing, information technology, health science, technology and engineering, family and consumer science, and skilled and technical program areas. NEBO has a graduation rate of 90%, which is one of the highest in the state. NEBO saves parents and students over $5.6 million in this past year by providing college concurrent enrollment classes and AP classes for college credit. 96% of NEBO graduates took at least one of these college classes. Our Chamber of Commerce and local businesses have been so generous and donated basic necessities for NEBO schools, for NEBO students in need. It may have been a backpack of food for the weekend, a warm coat, or shoes. Thank you to all of you who continue to give to the NEBO Pantry. These businesses and generous individuals also gave over $200,000 to the NEBO Education Foundation, which is a 501c3. These donations help fund some of the technology mentioned earlier, as well as science balances, musical instruments, books, and calculators. Thank you. NEBO continues to partner with the community and parents to do what is best for students. In fact, NEBO believes strongly in the following hashtags. Hashtag student success, hashtag empower students, hashtag focus on students, hashtag engage students, and hashtag NEBO hero. Thank you, NEBO School District, for all the good you add to our community. And Lana is going to come up and accept this for NEBO School District.
This is such an honor. I was so surprised when we got the phone call about getting this award. You know, really it's a community award. It's a business award. That you've made this happen. We appreciate it so much. I'd like all of those who have been educated in NEBO schools to stand, if you would. And I'd love to get a picture of all of you who've been educated here. Okay, now all of you who have kids or grandchildren that have been educated in NEBO. I hope it was wonderful. Give it a hand. You know, she mentioned, thank you, that was almost the majority in this room. And I say this classroom because this is an exciting building that we're in. I do need to just say a couple of things about this amazing building. So this was opened in the fall, just this past fall, and it's our Advanced Learning Center. And you can kind of see some of these wonderful captions here. They have videography. We teach flights, engineering. The college courses are down here. It's just been amazing. We went from less than 200 enrollment in the Advanced Learning Center to over 800 this year in this building. And it's just been a blessing to have this here in Salem, and we've just loved it. I pulled a quote from a student about how they felt being here at the Advanced Learning Center. So you understand, students from all of our high schools come here, and it's fun to see them come together and have projects and work. It's a real hands-on facility, and it's been amazing to watch them come together. We had a student say, in fact, before I say that, some of those classes that she read are taught here as well, and I wanted to make you aware of that. But this student says, there's an emphasis on hands-on learning. It said, let me find where he wrote this. There's always something going on. He said, I love the ALC for short. I love the ALC. It's a hands-on. The classes I take gives me a feeling of importance because my opinions are asked and my input is used for projects that we work on. And we usually have to figure it out for ourselves after the information's been given. I love it that kids from different high schools all come together to interact at ALC. It's just ALC kids working together, and it's awesome for me. And that's just one quote, and I found out that Heather's daughter goes here. Anybody else, students, grandchildren, or children go here by show of hands? Wonderful, good. Anyway, we just want to thank you. You know, really, Nebo District couldn't be as good as it is without the support of parents and community, and especially businesses. And I wanted to say while the band was still up here, now again, this is a state champion band, jazz band at Spanish Fork High. And we also had another high school state champion in Spanish Fork, and that was Maple Mountain, and they're in two different categories, so they could both take it. But I wanted to say when Clint Roberts was here, the Nebo Education Foundation funded one of those saxophones just this year, and I was going to have the students stand up, but you know, the way the foundation gets those funds are from businesses and from individuals that donate through the foundation. So that helps fund these championship programs. So thank you. And the superintendent would have loved to have been here as well. He had another commitment tonight. So, you know, we didn't find out about the award till just recently, so he couldn't change. But anyway, thank you so much from all of us in Nebo.
So it's the responsibility of giving out the Business Person of the Year award. It falls to me this year. I just want to first say that the fine lady that's getting this is wonderful to me. She's near and dear to most of us in this room. She's been a mentor to me. She's been a friend, and I'm extremely tickled to be giving this award to her. So without further ado, it is my privilege to present the Business Person of the Year award to Stacy Beck. Before she comes up, I'd like to share some of what constitutes this award from my perspective. Stacy is first and foremost a devoted wife and mother. Her family includes her husband, Chris, 2 boys, 2 girls, and 1 granddaughter. Approximately 12 years ago, Stacy took a job working for Utah Valley Magazine. This worked well with her family due to the flexible schedule. Stacy realized early on that the Chamber of Commerce was a good way for her to network and get to know many of the people that could possibly take positions in the magazine. She soon realized she had many current friends involved with the Chamber and quickly made new ones. Stacy was nominated and elected to the Chamber Board and found herself in a new role that involves service to others. Stacy took very well to this and was soon serving as the new networking chairman for the Chamber luncheon events. She served in this capacity for approximately 3 years before deciding to make a 3-year commitment to serve on the executive board as vice president, president, and finally past president. Stacy's leadership style invoked a fun and exciting time in the Chamber. She encouraged many of us to read. She would give out one of her favorite books along with an award certificate, recognizing Chamber board members for their contribution every month in our board meetings. Stacy has a way of making everyone feel included and important. It was while she was serving in this capacity that she found her love of service to others really blossomed. After serving on the Chamber Executive Board, she made a choice to run for City Council and was elected. Stacy continues to serve her family, community, and her position with Utah Valley Magazine in a very balanced manner. Stacy is a fine example of a person deserving of the Business Person of the Year award, and it is my honor to present her with this. Will you please come up, Stacy? Congratulations. So deserving. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, unlike Lana, I had no idea about this. In fact, when the ballot came in my inbox, and I know when I was president, we talked about instead of just trying to blindly choose someone, we would give suggestions that we would start adding 4 or 5 names. So Heather, is this the first year that you guys have done that? So I was so excited to look at the ballot and not have to use so much brain power to think of who did what in the community. And so I'm scrolling down, and lo and behold, I saw my name. So I totally took a picture and sent it to my kids, because I thought, well, I won't be holding this, so I at least need to prove to them that I was at least elected, nominated. So, but like Todd said, I have a great love for the Chamber of Commerce. I love my job at Utah Valley Magazine that has allowed me to work with so many of you, either through the magazine, Business Q, Utah Valley, or Fiesta Days, but more importantly has definitely been my relationships with so many people in our community. I mean, I remember back when Kerry Robarge, Brad Tanner, Mike Mendenhall were president, and I learned so much from them, and it just doesn't end. Their time now is given to other places in our community, and so it's just never-ending service. And so I'm floored. Thank you. I love all of you, and I hope Brandon Gordon can fill my shoes.
My name is Carrie Malkovich. I'm the president-elect for the Chamber, and I will be giving the Community Action Award this evening. And that award, are we changing that award goes to Chris Baird. Chris grew up in Orem and graduated in 2008 from Utah Valley University with a degree in accounting. In 2007, with a desire to live and work in a small town, he moved to Spanish Fork. It is here that he decided to spend his life promoting opportunities to serve in our communities. In 2011, he started Ben Served Pay Forward, a company that produced business cards, vinyl lettering, and what he called serve cards that promoted service through random acts of kindness. How many of you got one of those serve cards? I think all of us did. They went around the chamber and around the community, and it was really a wonderful thing. Out of this venture grew what we now call and know as Serve Daily, the monthly community newspaper that you find around town at the grocery store, at the doctor's offices, and at our local businesses. Serve Daily is much more than a newspaper. It has become a part of our community character, promoting both service and gratitude. As the tagline says, it truly is your source for information and inspiration here in the South County. Chris enjoys hiking and playing basketball, and as most of you know, he recently went to Disneyland, where he proposed to the love of his life, Karen. They will be married on April 20th. We want to say congratulations, both in winning this award from the Chamber of Commerce for his service in the Chamber over the years, and of course, congratulations in your upcoming marriage. Chris?
Oh, that's all I have. I only ever have a few words. It's an honor to receive this award tonight. I appreciate those that voted. And just, as I always say, just ask everyone here during the next week to find someone to serve. That's the mission of the paper, Serve Daily. Just imagine the word someone, a neighbor, a friend, a family member in between those two words. And hence it comes out with serve someone daily or serve a neighbor daily. So with that, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Gordon Lowe. The award that I'm about to present was presented to me last year by Stacy Beck. The Spanish Fork Area Chamber of Commerce is proud to present the Total Citizen of the Year award to Colt Sampson. When I was asked to present this award, I investigated Colt's past and discovered that we have a common connection through our association with the University of Utah. Colt attended the U of U, where he graduated in 2009 with a degree in resort management. Colt played football for the Utes while maintaining status on the athletic academic honor roll. He played in the 2009 Sugar Bowl game where the Utes upset the fourth-ranked Alabama at 31-17. Now I, on the other hand, am a proud parent of a U of U dropout. That child has since gone on to receive a nursing degree elsewhere, and she now works as a coordinating care nurse at the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio. But after graduating from the University of Utah, Colt went on to receive a master's degree in business administration from SUU. Colt is married to Patrice, aka CC, and together they have impacted our community for good. Colt and CC are the parents of 5 children. Colt is the owner of State Farm Insurance in Salem, and in 2014, Colt applied for and obtained a $25,000 grant from State Farm, and the funds from that grant were used to fund the Plug and Play program put on through the Chamber of Commerce, and that program had an emphasis of building relationships between kids, parents, and local businesses. The Chamber is still using residual funds from that grant to fund the annual 5th grade Walk for Life, which connects our local American Legion with students from 13 elementary schools in our communities. Colt invented Corky's Porky's Barnyard Battle, designed for kids ages 5 through 99. The purpose of the game is to bring friends, family, and together to improve their math skills and interact in a non-electronic medium. Our community was devastated by the tragic death of Colt and CC's near 3-year-old son, Levi, in July of 2017. In place of mourning the death of Levi, the Sampsons celebrated his life by launching the Live for Levi campaign. In a matter of days, the Sampsons raised more than $30,000 for the Primary Children's Hospital. Christmas toys and cheer were also graciously donated to area hospitals during the Christmas season in memory of Levi. Youth across many of our Utah County communities have pledged to do good by living fearlessly for Levi. Colt and CC have shown us through example how many heavy burdens and loads of life can be lightened by looking beyond ourselves and serving those around us.
Well, thank you, Gordon. Appreciate it. When you said going back into my past, my heart kind of sunk there for a while, but I guess Corky's Porky's was the worst thing you could find, so that's not too bad. But yeah, I'd just say very, very humbled. Wasn't really expecting this. My wife and I have kind of been in hibernation from chamber things kind of over the last year, and you know, many times we have this vision of what we want life to be and what we expect, and sometimes it just doesn't turn out that way. And I think the end destination we have in mind of what we want to do is such a small moment in time. It's that adventure of living, I guess, each day, just day by day. That's what really brings essence to that end journey. And my wife and I, we really, it's been a year of first for us. It's actually been 6 months and 5 days, not that I'm counting days, since Levi's accident. And what really changed our course, I think, is the way the community's responded. and the way they've loved us and helped us, and total citizen award, like really, I'm not, worthy of something like this, but I know this community is, and it's really just been touching for my wife and I, just to be just the outreach and the outpouring of love. I didn't go to my office for about 2 weeks after everything happened, and when I showed up, I mean, there were balloons, plaques, things to honor Levi, gifts, flowers, just unbelievable support and love from everyone, and seeing that made us realize, hey, maybe we can go on. I don't think there's any moving on when something like this happens, at least for my wife and I. It's more of a matter of pressing on and just pressing forward each day, trying to find the good and to do the good. And I'm grateful for each of you, and thanks for lifting us up, and thank you for making this a community we're proud to call home. And we recently just moved to Salem, so we're excited to be here as well. And even though a lot of our heart's still in Spanish Fork, so we're kind of living both places now. But thank you again. Go Utes, and someone get Mike McKell a Twinkie or a Ding Dong, because he is losing way too much weight. So, it's making me need to lose a few myself. No, thank you all. Thank you.
Usually we're on the end of giving the awards, so we're pretty excited. Tonight, it must be the Ute night, because who we want to recognize also is a Ute fan, avid Ute fan. So our business partnership award really is a difficult one to select because we have so many businesses that help, and Scott Barlow has been on the Nebo Education Foundation for at least 19 years and maybe longer. Do you know what year you started? I know it was before me. So I know he's been on at least that long and made a huge difference and contribution to the foundation. Not only that, Revere Healthcare has just been amazing with our employees, and just to give you a little bit about Scott, he's the Chief Executive Officer of Revere Healthcare. It was formerly known as Central Utah Clinic, if that rings a bell. But he's been there at least 16 years, maybe 17 now. Revere Health employs over 340 providers and 1,700 people, providing medical services at over 100 sites in Utah and 2 sites in Nevada and 1 in Page, Arizona. Large. Revere Health provides over 1.2 million patient visits each year to over 426,000 of residents of Utah. A little bit about Scott. He's been in the medical practice management for 26 years, working in Salt Lake and Utah County. He holds a bachelor's degree in accounting from the University of Utah and a master's in business healthcare from Westminster College. He serves on several boards, including the Nebo Education Foundation, University of Utah Masters in Health Administration Board. I think he interviews potential medical students. Is that it? United Way of the Utah County Board, Utah Valley Chamber of Commerce Board, and by the way, he's president this year of that board. He has several committee appointments from Governor Leavitt, Governor Huntsman, and Governor Herbert. He's a busy guy. He's like the Energizer Bunny. Anyway, if you've ever watched, he just gets things done. It's amazing. And he was honored just in 2015 by the Utah Business Magazine as CEO of the Year for the state of Utah. And a little bit about his family. So his wife, darling wife, Colette, is here with him. They moved from Sandy to Salem in 1997. They continue to raise their 4 children. I think they're grown, but they continue to raise them. And 2 son-in-laws, all of whom are working and in college. He says a never-ending process. He has education in his blood, as his father, brother, and 2 sisters are lifelong educators in Salt Lake, Granite, and Davis. He's adjunct faculty at the University of Utah, MBA, MHA capstone program, teaching about group practice management. And they're grateful for the opportunities that they've had here and made available by education and all those who assist them. And I want to give a big thank you to Scott Barlow.
Well, thank you. What an honor it is to be amongst all of you and people that make such a difference in the community. As Lana mentioned, we've been here for 21 years now in Salem. We came when our kids were just little teeny, and just have been so pleased with the community, the people, and the effort that people make in this area to really make a difference in the lives of people. And so it's a pleasure to be a part of that journey. I'm just so grateful for the educators in this community as well. You know, education is one thing in life that raises everyone's boat, actually, and it's hard, it's difficult, but so grateful for Lana and superintendent and all those who give of their time to help our communities be better by simply teaching that next generation what life's all about and what's really important in life. Have the privilege to see firsthand lots of those experiences, and I'm just so impressed with the knowledge of our youth and the abilities of our youth. They're in a tough world, but boy, when I have a chance to be a part of it and see how much further they are ahead in life than where I perceive I was at that stage of life, we've got a bright future ahead of us despite the challenges that are before us. So again, thank you. It's a pleasure to be a part of this. It's humbling to be recognized for this in behalf of Revere Health. We've been so grateful for this community. We actually have, when we build our Salem clinic, we actually tallied up, we have actually 411 employees in the Spanish Fork, Salem, Woodland Hills area, actually. So this is a big part of our community, actually, and so it's great to be a part of it and to be recognized in this way. So thank you very much for doing so.
All right, it's good to be here tonight. And Chad Bunn, I'm going to have you come up here in a minute. Before I do that, some of you don't know, my job in the legislature, I actually travel home every night. Some people stay up there. I came home, and my heart sank today when I got home and saw Life Flight. I know Chief Adams isn't here, or Chief James from Salem, but we have the most incredible police department. You guys just clap for them, just so that you know. I know they had another incident today where another life was saved that won't get reported. I mean, they do absolutely remarkable work, so thank you. Chad, I want you to come up here. I want you to stand next to me while I do this. I've been friends with Chad for a long time, and the Political Action Award, I meet a lot of people. I interact with a lot of people across the community, and I see a lot of good. I interact with Scott at a legislative level. I interact with Lana through the school district, and I've got both mayors here tonight. I know Mayor and Stacy were at the Capitol today, but I first met Chad at a political event. So Chad Bunn grew up in Cache County, and he's very proud of that, and I think that's fantastic. But I first met Chad at a political event for State Senator Hinkins, and it was a barbecue. There was a big trailer with watermelons, and Chad introduced himself. I was from Spanish Fork. He was from Spanish Fork, and he said, "I'm from Spanish Fork," and he said, "Well, I'm the president of Kiwanis," and I thought, well, that's a little bit weird because at the time I was the president of Kiwanis in Payson, and I told him, I said, and Scott knows this because I was a really bad president of Kiwanis when Scott was there, but I told Chad, I said, "No, I'm the president." He says, "Well, no, actually, I am the president." And we worked it out. He was the president of the Spanish Fork Kiwanis. I got to know Chad, and when I moved my business to Spanish Fork, Chad and I became really good friends. When we talk about Kiwanis, Chad's been doing Kiwanis for as long as anybody I know. And who in here has been to the hamburger stand and seen Chad Bunn, okay? There's going to be a bunch of hands, okay? So the thing about Chad during the rodeo, the thing that has always impressed me the most about Chad, he's the first guy there, and he's the first guy to leave. This last year, Lori finally said he had to take a vacation, and he stepped out a little bit, and Gordon Lowe kind of stepped in. But the reason I'm giving the Political Action Award to Chad is because Chad has done tremendous things in the community, and he's done tremendous things in politics. So Chad does Kiwanis. Chad is a temple worker. Chad is active in church. Chad served on the Spanish Fork High School Community Council, and Chad is one of those guys that simply says, "I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do," and he does it. And he does it over and over and over. He does have a professional life. He's got two kids, one on a mission, 2 daughters, one on a mission, both great students. Chad works over at BYU. He is a proud Cougar Colt, you know that. And he works in the athletic department. I don't know that I have a whole bunch of notes. I'm going to let Chad say a few things, but Chad is somebody that I've grown to love and admire because of the things he does. I mean, he always He always does what he says he's going to do. He's always there first. He's always there last. And the guy gets stuff done. So thank you. So my award is going to go to Chad Bunn. And Senator Henderson and I have agreed to trade off every year. So next year it'll probably be Senator Henderson giving out an award. But tonight, thank you, Chad. I have something a little bit unique as well. I know that we've got a plaque. So this is Chad. This is a plaque. One of the things I also do is I get these from our members of Congress. This is a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol. He's getting this. This was flown over the United States Capitol at the request of former Congressman Chaffetz. Congressman Curtis is still catching up, and I had to pull some strings and get some old flags. But I'm going to give this to Chad as well. Thank you, and welcome, Chad.
You know, this is really kind of selfish. I thought, you know, tomorrow I got a basketball game. Friday night I'm in, where am I Friday night? I don't know where I'm at Friday night. Friday night I'm in the beautiful city of Stockton, California with our women's basketball team. And I thought, driving home, and I thought, oh man, you know, I love Carrie and I love what the chamber does. I don't know much about the chamber, but she invited us to come to this dinner, and I said, Lori, we need to go to this dinner, and I'm absolutely shocked. I got to tell you, I love the community in which I live. I remember when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I came with my dad to Spanish Fork, my first recollection, to show our horses. We had registered quarter horses. And we came to a summer quarter horse show at the arena. And Dad's really good friend was Steve White. I don't know if you know Steve White or not. Steve, his family at one time owned the Ideal Market, the Ideal Cafe, whatever. We came and stayed with Steve. My dad always said, someday when I retire, I want to live in Spanish Fork. My dad's passed away, never had that dream come true, but I have. Our 2 daughters have graduated from Spanish Fork High School, gone through the schools. My mom was an educator up in Cache Valley. I have a degree in education. I tell you what, I have people all the time as I travel say, what do you like about your community? This is home, guys. And I can't tell you how humble I am to receive this award, a total shock and awe. But I love serving in a community. My dad served in the Lions Club for several years up in Cache Valley. And when I was approached to serve in the Kiwanis Club, I just fell in love with it. Love what we do, and we couldn't do it without citizens. And there's a few of you who are key to do what we do in our Kiwanis Club that are sitting in this audience. You know who you are. I want to tell you thanks again. Thanks to my sweet wife. I leave a suitcase packed because I come home and I think we unpack and do the laundry and off we go. It's crazy. We got to see where we were standing at Pearl Harbor. Yeah, it was Sunday, sorry. We were at Pearl Harbor after the BYU football game, and it was really windy and it was kind of rainy. I'm looking at him going, boy, I think I know that guy. It was Colt. Colt and his wife were over there, and it was so awesome to run into them. And anyway, just thank you so much for all you do. Thank you, Chamber. This is awesome. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
I graduate from the U. Go Utes.
I don't want to embarrass him, but I made the mistake and showed up at Nebo CrossFit the other day and saw him there. And I'm still trying to recover, and I haven't been back, but I'm going to make it. Yeah.
Have Colt show up to CrossFit, and then he shows you up, and then you're like, no. We hope he doesn't come back. You know, I'm just kidding. Come back. It is fun over there. But anyway, first I want to put a plug in for, I'm the mayor of Salem for 20 days now, but we're so happy to have the Advanced Learning Center here. And so I'm going to put a little plug in for it because my daughter graduated a couple years ago, and she was 7 credits short from having her associate degree because she had traveled to Springville and go to the Advanced Learning Center. So we're so happy that it's here, and we'd worry about her in the snow going put her over there. And so to have this available to the students, and besides that, I think we figured up it saved us $12,000. So that's a good thing. Like I say, I've only been the mayor for 20 days, and this was the easiest decision to make. So I think the rest of the 4 years will go good. But I think the whole town would agree with my decision about Bart Perry. He's our state champ principal because he was principal of the year last year. I've had a couple kids graduate with him. Never have I heard a parent speak ill of him or mad at him, or they're always kind words. I don't know that I had those kind feelings for my principals, but everyone I speak to or has spoken to me and told me about Bart, it's just nothing but with kindness and love. In fact, he's sick, so he can't be here today, I think. He's been sick for 3 days. He wasn't to the basketball game last night, so I feel bad because they said if you'll just get him up there, his face will be beet red because he hates awards and stuff given to him. So he's a humble man. He loves our children, and he has done a very good job for Salem. Salem don't have big businesses and things that are associated with Salem, but we do have a high school now, and it's the center part of our town, and it gets a lot of support, and we love it. And Bart's a big part of that, and the kids love him, and the parents love him, and so he gets the Mayor's Award from Salem today.
You know, there are some really fun things to do as mayors. There's some really crappy things you get to do as mayor. This is a fun one, and I've enjoyed doing this. This will be the 5th year I've been able to do this and give this award out, the Mayor's Award. And this year I've chosen Bill Summer as our Spanish Fork Mayor's Award. You know, everybody knows Bill. He runs Macy's, and I've always said that when you're campaigning, you go to Macy's because you meet everybody at Macy's. So Bill, thank you for opening that store for all those candidates that want to run for city office, because you can meet there, they'll come up and talk to you, and you can discuss all the city problems and right there, and it all gets solved right there at Macy's. So, you know, Bill, he grew up in Orem. He comes from a family of 5 boys, and he graduated from Orem High. He went to BYU, then he went on his mission to Austria, came back and finished his schooling at BYU. Yeah, go Cougars. Yeah, we got to represent here. Thank you very much, you know. And so he met a sweet wife, Dornita there. They were married. They've got 4 children and 17 grandchildren. So you must be doing something right, Bill. There you go. So he was working in the grocery store while he was going to school. He started working at Happy Service Market in Springville and Spanish Fort. And when he came back off his mission, he continued there. He's worked in the grocery stores for over 46 years, 41 of those years at Macy's. Wow. And so Macy's, the thing I didn't realize, they employ 200 employees there at Macy's. You know, and Bill also, the thing I like about Bill is he's always providing opportunities. Special needs kids are able to work there at Macy's. He's always opened Macy's up for, I know the Rotary meets there. Bill's always out there serving the community, and in everything, he's always up there at the Chamber Golf Tournament, serving there, providing food. Whatever anybody asks, Bill is there to help. And he's a great service to our community. He's a very big advocate of buy local, shop local, stay local. And I appreciate that. One thing that people don't realize about Bill, that as I was researching a little bit about Bill, he's able to teach those kids how to bag. And we've had 2 that won the state championship bagging in the nation, or in the state, gone on to national. So I'm sure it was all Bill's training on showing them how to put the right food in the right spot there. But Bill's a great asset to our community, and I couldn't think of a better person to give that to for this time as Bill Summer.
Thank you, Mayor. I love this community. I live in Orem, but my heart's in Spanish Fork. Anywhere I go, I run into people from Salem and Spanish Fork, and they always make me feel like family. And it's just been a fun time working here in Spanish Fork. And I thank you for the support that you've given me over the years. So thank you very much, and go Cougars.
Okay, everybody, I'm back. One thing about serving as the president of the Chamber of Commerce, one of the privileges you get is you get to pick somebody to give an award to. So I'm really tickled about this. The 2017 President's Award, I've chosen the American Legion Post 68 to receive this presidential award. So before I ask them to come up and receive the award, I have a few key points I would like to share with you. A little over 20 years ago, I lost my first real hero in life. He was my grandfather on my mother's side of the family. His name was Harold Lassen. This man was made a very big impression on my life simply because he made a real effort to do so. He served in the military during the Second World War in the Pacific Theater. Upon his passing, while attending his graveside service, I had the privilege of experiencing a military tribute for the very first time. This was performed by the American Legion Honor Guard volunteers, and it's the most cherished memory of mine. The fine men and women that make up our local Post 68 are a big part of our community and deserve to be recognized. On any given day, whether it's 100 degrees outside or freezing temperatures with rain or snow and ice, there's a good chance the American Legion Honor Guard will be doing a military tribute, and they are never rescheduled. This at times results in them spending hours at the cemetery waiting for the family to arrive. The majority of the American Legion's active members are getting up in years, so performing these services in extreme conditions is very taxing for them. But they take great pride in this, and you will never see them complain or not follow through. The American Legion Honor Guard has performed over 120 military tributes in our area last year alone. In 1956, the stewardship of what is now known as the Veterans Memorial Building was left to the American Legion Post 68. Under their stewardship, this facility has been well cared for and is available to the community for many purposes. It houses the Daughters of the Pioneer Museum and is decorated with locally donated military memorabilia, making a very patriotic experience for all those who enter. In an effort to instill patriotism in our young children, the American Legion developed a program which all fifth grade students from the Spanish Fork and Salem area had the opportunity to learn more about the military and all those that have served. This has the potential to go a long way to instill patriotism in our youth. It involves setting up stations at the volunteer bar park with different activities for the children to experience. A wall of honor was constructed and erected by the students with help from their teachers. A smaller representation of Flanders Field was set up, and multiple stations were arranged that involved our veterans sharing their experiences of their service time. It was amazing how well it held their attention as well as my own. In addition to the Walk for Life event, on Veterans Day every year, the American Legion volunteers participate in assemblies for all of the elementary schools students in the Spanish Fork and Salem area. Other activities of note include supporting the National Guard with the flag retirement ceremonies held at the rodeo arena every year, conducting and providing an award ceremony for all of the first responders in the Spanish Fork and Salem area. On Memorial Day, the American Legion makes it their responsibility for setting up Flanders Field at the Spanish Fork Cemetery, which contains over 4,000 crosses at this time. Memorial Day programs are provided by the American Legion at the Spanish Fork, Salem, and Benjamin cemeteries every year. Our local Post 68 is a fantastic asset to our community. It is my distinct privilege to award them with the 2018 Presidential Award. Richard Johnson put an enormous amount of effort into making the Walk for Life program last year a reality. For this reason, I would like to ask him to come up and receive this award on behalf of the American Legion. Richard, will you come up, please?
I'd just like to thank the school district, the city, and the Chamber of Commerce in particular, because without their support, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we are able to accomplish in our post and in the community with the children. And so thanks again to all of you. It's not me, it's our great members we have in the Legion and in this community. Thanks again.
So tonight, I would like to award the 2017 Directors Award. I've been thinking about this quite a bit. I have to do it every year. They get to just do it once. So this year, I want to award this to Christy Simons. Christy is currently serving on the Salem City Council, and she is also the president of Simcoe Electric, which Christy and her husband James started 19 years ago. James and Christy have been married for 28 years and have lived 27 of those years in Salem. They have 3 children and 1 grandbaby on the way. Their oldest currently works at UVU in their recruitment department. Their daughter teaches at Payson Junior High, and their youngest is currently serving an LDS mission in Kentucky. When I called the city to dig up a little dirt on Christy, all I heard were praises for her hard work and the service she provides to the city. For example, did you know that Christy has been in charge of the Salem Summer Concert Series for the last 2 years? And she is solely responsible for the amazing James the Mormon concert last year during Salem Days. She personally helped to raise thousands of dollars so that our community could enjoy this amazing concert for free. She is also heavily involved with the Salem City Senior Citizens Program. She helps to serve food each week, calls bingo games, and even refs for their volleyball games, which is really a beach ball. During Christmas last year, she helped to deliver about 80 loaves of homemade bread to the members of their senior citizen group in one day. She's been in charge of the youth council. She has been over the library committee, helping them to raise some much needed funds, and has helped to transform Salem's Halloween trunk or treat to get more involvement from the community, involving the youth council and different departments within the city. Christy is always looking for ways to get the businesses of Salem more involved in the chamber, and she's always willing to help in any way that she can. If you've ever met Christy, you know that she is an amazing person who loves Salem. I could not think of anyone more worthy of this award this year. Congratulations, Christy.
Well, thank you. What a surprise. I wish I had some great Oprah speech for you, but I do not tonight. But I'm just really honored to be able to serve in our community. I love Salem. I grew up here. And I remember thinking how awesome it would be one day to have an incredible high school and library and ball fields and all of these things that are happening in our community. And it's just a real honor to be part of it. And I love our community and its people, and I'm really grateful for this award.
Lance was our, Lance was our past president last year, so I've asked him to come up and help us with the outgoing service awards. Basically, these awards are for board members that have served their term and are no longer serving with us. So, do you have anything more that you would like to say about this, Heather? So, who do we have here? As we announce your names, will you please come up? Jess Mendenhall, David Kincaid, Matt Barber, and Chris Baird. I guess we get 1 out of 4. We're doing okay. We'd also like to present Lance with an award for his service, so we'll go ahead and acknowledge him at this time as well. He's been a great community service person. So, here you go, Lance.
Okay, and Lance, now that you're finally done and you can quit coming to early morning meetings and you don't have to get out of your muck boots to come to board meeting.
All right.
Melanie and you, we thought it would be nice to actually go out on a date. So from the chamber, here you go.
Oh, thank you. Wow, Heather, thank you. Here we go. Tonight's date and then next week's date.
I now charge you, the executive officers of the Spanish Fork Salem Chamber of Commerce, with the responsibility of governing the chamber. You are to meet frequently to conduct the affairs of the chamber. You are to establish policy and procedure, and you are to ensure that the financial needs of the Chamber of Commerce are met by assisting in fundraising and with chamber membership. You are to actively promote the chamber to our communities and actively participate in chamber events. With your acceptance of this election and invitation to serve, you assume the responsibility of representing the membership of the Chamber and performing your duties to the best of your abilities. If you can accept this charge, please say, "I will."
I will.
Congratulations. May I present your executive board members for 2018?
So we're going to go ahead and swear in our new board members, those that have been newly elected this year. So if all of you that are here tonight could please come up here, we can go ahead and get you sworn in.
I now charge you, the Board of Directors of the Spanish Fork Salem Chamber of Commerce, with the responsibility of governing the Chamber. You are to meet frequently to conduct the affairs of the Chamber. You are to establish policy and procedure, and you are to ensure that the financial needs of the Chamber of Commerce are met by assisting in fundraising with Chamber membership. You are to actively promote the Chamber to our communities and actively participate in Chamber events. With your acceptance of this election and invitation to serve, you assume the responsibility of representing the membership of this Chamber and performing your duties to the best of your abilities. If you can accept this challenge, please say, "I will."
I will.
Congratulations. May I present your Board of Directors for 2018?
Okay, everyone, bear with me. We're getting on the tail end of things here. I'd like to present my 2017 President's Report. I do have a talk written. There's a few things that are unscripted that I'd like to mention. You know, I'm a fourth generation native of Spanish Fork. My great-grandfather was Murphy Alexander, and it's all on my mother's side. But then my grandparents were Nancy and Harold Lassen. My parents, Lee and Karen Dickerson, and I love Spanish Fork, and I love the Salem area too. Some of my closest friends grew up here in Salem. I have an employee that works for me. He's really my right hand, and I've known him since I was 12 years old. He grew up here in Salem. His name's Sean Newsink. I owe him a lot of my success to him. And just a funny story. When I was younger, when I was 14 or 15, I had a motorcycle, and I'd always try to sneak through the river bottoms and get over here, and I'd drive over on the Highline Canal and stuff. And we'd have inner tubes, and we'd go swimming in the Highline Canal even though we weren't supposed to. And then in the winter, we kind of raised a little hell when we were younger, but I remember there was a dance or something going on at the church that was up on the Highline Canal Road there. Well, Chris Miller was another one of our friends, and he didn't live too far from there. So as the dance was getting out, we were up in the Highline Canal when there was no water in it, throwing snowballs as the cars were coming by. Well, Dean Wolf was the chief of police at the time, and he was pretty smart. And he actually caught up with us and threatened us within an inch of our life. But you know, times are different now, and we just got a good slap on the hands. But I'll never forget my time growing up in this area. Another dear friend of mine, Carrie Robard, she's here with us tonight. And Carrie, I appreciate you coming out here tonight and supporting us. Thank you very much. Him and his wife, Judy, known them for a very long time as well. So anyway, moving forward, 2017 has been an exciting year with many exciting businesses being added to the fold. As I have reflected over the last year, certain events came to mind that are worth mentioning. I'm just going to give a brief summary of some of the major events that the Chamber is involved in. The Easter egg hunt was a big success once again. This truly is a community effort that takes contribution from the city, Chamber, residents, and business community to make it the success that it is year after year. Susan Taylor and Brenda Lydiard, my hat's off to them. Every year they just make this a really great success. Even when they weren't serving on the board, they were contributing to make it the success that it is every year. For as long as I have been actively serving with the Chamber has always looked for ways to support our youth in an entertaining and educational way. 3 years prior to 2017, the Chamber was involved in the Play Unplugged program. Over the course of 3 years, the program had really lost its appeal and traction among the city residents and the business community that supported it. However, the Chamber had received a $25,000 grant from State Farm, partly due to this program and some real effort from this year's Total Citizen of the Year award winner, Colt Sampson. At the end of 2016, approximately $9,000 remained, and it was unclear what would be done with those funds. One thing we did know is that it needed to be used for to fund a program that was geared to our youth. Along the way in 2016, the Chamber was approached by Richard Johnson from the American Legion about the program that would later be called the Walk for Life program. I believe moving forward, this program will be referred to as the Freedom Walk. Can you confirm that for me, Richard? It's going to be called the Freedom Walk? Yes, he has confirmed that for me. The American Legion was laying groundwork for the program, for a youth program that would go a long way to instilling a sense of patriotism in the youth and recognize the sacrifices that have been and are still being made by our armed forces every day. It is extremely important to me that our youth understand the past and present sacrifices that are made to live in what is still the greatest country on earth, and in many parts of the country, patriotism truly is lacking. It is my belief that patriotism is something that is instilled at an early age, and it is critical to the long-term success of not only our nation, but our wonderful community as we know it. This event does just that. The Walk for Life event for our fifth graders took considerable effort and money from many local contributors, public and private, including Spanish Fork City, Neville School District, the Chamber of Commerce, and the American Legion Post 68. This program was a huge success. It was amazing to see the effort the students and teachers put into creating the Wall of Honor. And as we walked to the different stations, listening to the stories of our veterans' experiences being shared with our youth, it was incredible the way it would hold their attention and how involved the students were. With that said, I'm happy to say that the grant from the State Farm is being spent in the spirit it was intended, and I am extremely proud of that. However, this will only help fund this event for the next 2 years. It is my hope and prayer that future leaders of the Chamber can find other ways of supporting this great event well into the future. The Chamber Rotary Golf Tournament was another great event that went very well. Frankly, the Rotary does the majority of the heavy lifting for this event. Heather and I both spent time attending Rotary planning meetings for this event, and it has become one of the hallmarks of the Rotary and Chamber's contributions to our community that support our youth by providing scholarships for them. And these scholarships are scholarships that don't go to somebody that just has really good grades. They go to kids that maybe they need to go to trade school. Maybe they're not geared to become the next doctors in our society, but they might be the next great machinists. They might be the ones that open that machine shop in Spanish Fork that provides jobs for a lot of us. So anyway, it's a wonderful program. Another great thing that Spanish Fork has going for it with the Chamber, the Farmers Market. It was a huge success this year, and I'm very happy to say that with continued participation with the committee that was formed by the Chamber that includes representatives from the local vendors, it will continue to be one of the best farmers markets in the state. The Christmas Lights Parade was another memorable event this year, and it seems to only be getting better. I want to thank Blake Barney for his continued passion and encouragement for this event. Without his influence, it would not be what it is today. You know, Blake manages to rattle the chains of the Chamber every year around Thanksgiving time, and really prompts everybody to get more or less a call to action to try and make the parade better than it was the year before. And I think he's effective, I really do. In 2016, we saw a huge increase in Chamber membership. In 2017, we saw fewer new members joining, and the need for a process that would retain existing members as well as recruit new ones was evident. This is not something that can only be left to the membership committee and the executive director to be responsible for, so we changed it. Instead of mostly relying on the membership committee and executive director to perform this function, a meeting with our membership committee was initiated to develop a program that requires involvement of the entire board to perform this function. Although it has not been implemented for a long enough time to give statistical data as to its effectiveness, I am confident it will provide good results. It is my hope that the Chamber Board will continue to tweak this process and continue to make the entire board's responsibility to keep our Chamber membership at a healthy level. As far as the financial health of the Chamber goes, I can report that it is in very good shape. It has many fail-safes in place that keep it that way. This past year, Heather and Julie have put considerable effort into cleaning up our membership roster, which has made forecasting and budgeting much more accurate moving forward. With the exclusion of the grant money that was donated for the Walk for Life event, the Chamber actually showed a small profit in 2017. I have no doubt we will find somewhere worthy for that to go this year. I have done more interviews with SF17 for new business ribbon cuttings and Business of the Month celebrations than I can possibly remember. If Pete Hansen were here from, Pete Hansen from SF17 would film these interviews. I must say that he's an amazingly patient man, and I can't thank him enough for helping me become more fluid with this process. And if you are here, Pete, I'd say to you, you will be happy to know that your life is about to become much less stressful with my successors moving in to fill this role. On a personal level, I have thoroughly enjoyed the relationships I have made in the Chamber. In the time I have spent on the board and executive board, I have experienced some of the hardest times of my life. And I can honestly say that many of my near and dear Chamber friends have helped me through these times. It just proves to me that God provides what you need when you need it the most. I will always be grateful to the Chamber for all it has done for me. It has made me a better person. It has been my honor and privilege to serve as the president for the Chamber of the Spanish Fork Salem Area Chamber of Commerce for 2017. Thank you to everyone for supporting me as your Chamber president over the last year.
Hello again, everybody. Obviously, I have some pretty big shoes to fill. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Katrina Kimball. This year I'll be the president for the Spanish Fork Salem Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm very excited, and I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'll keep it short, but 2.5 years ago, when I left my regular job, back then I worked for KSL TV as a broadcast engineer. I did that for 17 years. It was a wonderful job, but when I left there, my husband and I decided we would open a soap making shop here in Spanish Fork on Main Street. I'd been making soap for 13 years back then, and so I was going to turn that into my full-time job. It was very exciting. I think soap making it's the most awesome hobby in the world. So I was thinking that would probably make the best job in the world. So now I do that full time. I make soap and bath bombs and lotions, and it's a happy place. You know, customers, nobody's grumpy in my shop. It was really exciting, but it was also very scary. So my husband and I, we decided that we would join the Chamber of Commerce right from the start. And not only did we want to join the Chamber of Commerce, we wanted to be active and actually participate. And I'd like to tell you a little bit of my experience in the Chamber of Commerce for the last couple of years. Like I said in the beginning, it was really scary to leave my normal job with a paycheck that was decent, and I had benefits and regular paydays and a retirement plan. And so I started my own business, but I never really felt alone, even though I was afraid, because I have all these wonderful people from the Chamber that I've met. The Chamber of Commerce is a wonderful way of networking and making new relationships. I've made many new relationships with business people in our area, with community leaders, and it's just a great way to get involved in our community. These people support me, and they refer people to my business. They shop my business. Another thing I love about the Chamber of Commerce is that it's heavily involved in serving and strengthening our community. I believe a strong community means a stronger community or consumer base. Plus, serving in our community is a good form of networking. I also believe that having volunteers from our business in the community gives a human face to our business, and I believe my customers like that. It can be a lot of work doing all the volunteering that we do, but it is also very fun. This year, our goals for the Chamber of Commerce are to continue to improve the overall business climate and quality of life in the Salem Spanish Fork community by continuing to grow our membership. More members means more business opportunities for all of us and more visibility in our community. The Chamber also provides access to educational, marketing, and networking opportunities for our members. We help provide numerous volunteer opportunities to serve and build our community, making it so that residents, visitors, and investors want to be here and spend their money here. Our community has its own unique character and charm. Likewise, our Chamber of Commerce is very special. The strength of our chamber is because of our members. On behalf of the Chamber of Commerce Board, I want to express my gratitude to our members for all you do in our community. Our members want to make a difference, and it shows in the commitment you give, the time you spend, your financial support, and the talents you share with us in our community. It is my sincere pleasure to thank you and to thank you for all you've done. It's been really wonderful working with so many of you the last couple of years. Thank you to all the great businesses here in our community that give of their time, talents, and finances. I'm always inspired by the stories I hear at these installation banquets. And I love to hear about how you guys all make this community a better place. Thank you.
Well, everyone, that pretty well does it for us. I must say, on my last executive board meeting, it was kind of sad not having Lance there. I was in there. I'm kind of feeling like the underdog. I'm in there with 4 women every month now, and I might have to call him in for backup now and then. But thanks again for your friendship, Lance, and all you did for us. And thank you to everybody for coming out and supporting this wonderful banquet that we hold every year. Have a good evening.